Welcome to SkinCast, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of aesthetics. SkinCast is proudly brought to you by Seriderm, a leading distributor of advanced aesthetic solutions. At Seriderm, we're committed to empowering aesthetic professionals with the tools and knowledge they need for a successful practice. Each episode will bring you expert interviews, success stories, and practical guidance to help you maximize your ROI, achieve the best clinical outcomes, and keep you informed about the latest innovations. So sit back, relax, and get ready to unlock your practice with SkinCast.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 8 of SkinCast. Today I'm joined by the lovely Sandra Dwarampudi from SV Aesthetics in Hale. How are you doing, Sandra?
Hi Sophie, I'm good, thank you very much. Thank you for the invite today.
You're welcome, lovely to have you. So today we're talking about KeraFactor.
Yes.
You do a lot of KeraFactor treatments in your clinic,
yes.
And it's a very popular treatment. So can you tell us a little bit more about what KeraLase is as a treatment, how it works, and how it differs from other hair loss?
So the KeraLase works by using the laser. We run it through the scalp. It opens up tiny channels down to the follicle, and then we use a KeraFactor. It has 7 different peptides and growth factors in this serum. It goes all the way down, so we've excited the follicle. We introduce the serum, and this helps the follicle to awaken from its dormant state, hence grow and flourish. It is excellent for men and women of all ages. Men who are going through male pattern baldness, which is a huge problem, even for young guys. But it's also great for women. So after having a baby, or if they've been on GLP-1s, which are really popular right now, love them or hate them, women are taking them and they're seeing hair thinning.
It's a really emotional kind of treatment.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
This is the one where we really can't joke about it. So I know that a lot of people will see on SV Aesthetic Clinic, we do a lot of fun, laughing things. We can't joke about this one because it's actually not that funny. So it's not funny for men or women. It's sensitive. So, you know, this changes the way we have to approach this treatment. Most people very reluctantly message us quietly. They don't want to be seen, so obviously we have our content to think about, but a lot of people just don't want to be seen, and the only time they will want to shout out about this is when it's done and their hair's thick and, you know, it's worked, you know, which proves challenging because we want to prove to people that this is a science-backed, clinical-backed treatment. It's not fluff. So, you know, we're waiting, you know, it can be a few months. Also, another thing with this treatment is, you know, we can't guarantee. Everybody is different. So, you know, when somebody hears we can't guarantee, they automatically go to, okay, I'll have a hair transplant, which is also not guaranteed. So we've seen lots of people have 3, 4, you know, it's quite invasive. So, you know, it's just a matter of sort of educating people about it.
And I suppose if we compare it to treatments like PRP, which is still very, very popular, it's also not guaranteed with PRP. So, I mean, if somebody was looking to invest in either PRP or KeraLase, what do you think are the main differentiating factors that would make you choose, or why did you choose KeraLase over?
So with PRP, the biggest thing is it's fairly invasive, so it's needles. So you've got people with needle phobia. First of all, there's blood. We have to draw blood, we have to mix the blood. We rely on that blood being of good quality. So the product itself is that person's blood, the biology of that person. If they don't have, you know, the qualities in that blood to rejuvenate, after you've had the needles, it's actually pointless and it's painful. Whereas with the LaseMD Ultra, the KeraLase treatment, we have a lab-created, synthetic, proven formula. It is extremely, what's the word? We can track it. We know that every time they're getting exactly what they need, as to the best of the ability, into that scalp. Whereas with PRP, it's like, okay, we know that the blood's going in, but we don't know if it's going to work because we don't know how good of a quality it is. We also know with LaseMD Ultra treatment, it's pain-free every single time. You can't even feel the warmth of it, actually. So most people just find it very relaxing.
They do, don't they? Which is like, we wouldn't expect such an effective treatment to actually be very non-invasive in how it...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not, people think, oh God, laser, it sounds so scary, but it's pain-free, and it works. We're creating tiny channels using laser technology with needles. You are literally piercing the scalp and going in with a needle and injecting. You don't have deep, you know, we're humans. Going in with a needle relies on you doing it correctly every single time, at the right depth, you know, the right amount. We can't track it. Whereas with LaseMD and the KeraLase, you can actually track the results. We know what's going in every single time. We know how deep it's going to the mill every single time. And we've seen the results, you know, throughout all these studies. It's proven, it's clinically proven. So
And how did you find out about KeraLase? How were you introduced to it?
So I was introduced via Seriderm when I was actually a model. So I was a model for the facial treatment. So that was what SV Aesthetic Clinic started as. And our main clientele were women, and they wanted beautiful skin. So I became a model, and I had the treatment 3 times. After the second I bought the laser, I was like, oh,
I need this.
God. Yeah, this is like amazing. And then they said, well, it also does this. And I was like, ding. And I had a little look like, who does this treatment? No one. Like, no one. Like, we have tumbleweeds. Like, no one's doing it. And then I checked, obviously, the studies and does it work? Even I was like, of course, as a business owner, does it work? I need to see it working. And it works. I've seen it. I've seen the studies. And I've also done lots of men and women in the clinic, and we're seeing absolute, you know, density and regrowth in most. It doesn't work for everyone, granted, because some people have other issues that are outside of the parameters. And
that's what's important, isn't it? Like the underlying reason for
we need to know why, first of all, and of course, you know, that will make a difference. But, you know, for us, it kind of opened up our clientele to men. You know, we know that predominantly it's men that have hair loss. Not predominantly. They're worried about hair loss. And, you know, it happens from a very young age. My husband was 26, completely bald.
Really?
On the top, completely. And he even said, like, God, if this would have been many years ago, I would have done this. You know, because he said, I'm scared of transplant. So he didn't do it. So, you know, we wanted to enhance the clinic. We wanted to enhance and grow our audience to men as well, because I always wanted men in the clinic, but not many men are coming in for. I really
think the male aesthetic industry is growing massively, and I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger, isn't it?
So much. It's becoming more acceptable, and that sounds silly, but socially, you know, men are embarrassed. They're embarrassed. They don't want to come in for their anti-wrinkles and fillers and this. Whereas with hair, I think it's touched upon a very strong need from men. And once the client comes in, once the males come in, I've had men sitting in the chair, I'm doing it and I'm talking, and I start saying, oh yeah, you can do face, and it's like, really? And he's literally said, do my face as well.
Wow, so it's like a gateway for that as well.
Absolutely, so it just opens up for your
conversations.
Conversations for the client and bringing a different clientele in that you'd never normally see, but also for your clinic. If clinic owners, you know, thinking, oh, I don't know, you predominantly only have women. The men coming in, that's a huge market to introduce to your clinic.
Definitely.
So, definitely.
And in terms of ROI, how would you say your experience has been?
So this was big for me. This was a big deciding factor. It's, you know, it's a lot of money to have a laser, and rightly so. It's innovative, state-of-the-art laser. Of course, it's gonna not be cheap. If it was cheap,
there's something wrong with it.
Don't do it. So I was very much watching and talking to other business owners initially, and I was asking, like, you know, the very rude question, when were you making profit? When was it paying for itself? It was all I wanted to know. When did this thing pay for itself? And most of them said within 1 month or 2 months, and I was a little bit cautious about it, because I was like, okay, maybe they're more established, maybe they have more clients than us. And I tell you, we bought it in December, but it was Christmas. We got through January sort of preparing the marketing. We didn't rush. February we started, and by March and April we had doubled the clinic's income.
Wow.
And now the laser is the bread and butter of the clinic. It is the main part of our clinic.
It's like the main treatment that you're doing at the moment, isn't it?
there's obviously a lot of treatments in the clinic that happen, but the baby face laser is, and the KeraLase, there's 2 parts to it, are now the biggest part of our clinic.
Wow.
We still do the other stuff, but we now have extra people coming in, and then they all have the other stuff too.
Wow.
So it's absolutely been a game changer. I hate that phrase.
So cliche, isn't it? But it actually
Game
has
changer.
for you and your clinic.
Absolutely. It's completely, I don't like to, I'm going to steer off a little bit, but regulations in the industry are changing. I know a lot of clinics have non-medics and they're all very worried about this thing, but this laser is excellent for your non-prescribing practitioners in your clinic.
That's a really good
point. You can divert
actually.
it. They get trained, they do all the laser training, and you can literally have these practitioners in your clinic doing this.
Yeah.
So it's fabulous.
And I think also in terms of like delegating as well, as you said, you don't need a medic to do it. So
exactly.
You can, really, you can really, what do I want to say?
You can bring in practitioners who you would not normally hire.
Yes, exactly.
So obviously, in our clinic, it's just me. My husband does come in occasionally, but he's very busy with his own stuff. But now I was very cautious, like, who would I bring in? We're growing. Who am I going to bring in? Who am I going to bring in? And now I don't really have to think too hard, because I'm like, okay, now I just need to have somebody who is amazing as a person, who I know my clients are like, who are qualified, but they don't have to be medic anymore. No, this is not something that's on my mind. Yeah. So.
And in terms of the training you received, did you feel like it was really easy to adjust to using both KeraLase and the babyface treatment?
Yeah, 1,000,000%. So obviously Kevin trained me.
Yeah.
And I'm mentored by Kevin in terms of the laser. I think he's probably one of the best in the business. Like, the guy knows everything.
Yeah. He's a laser nerd.
He's like ChatGPT for laser. Like,
he would love that you said that.
He literally is, though.
But he is, yeah.
He is. I've had him in my clinic for everything. Like, I did my grand opening of the laser. Kevin was the speaker. Like, I trained. Kevin's my trainer. I ask a question, Kevin, I'll ask you. Like, literally, he comes in. When I know he's in Cheshire, I'm like, right, me and my husband, Kevin, where are you? We'll come and meet you. Yeah. So I just want to pick his brains.
Yeah.
He's fabulous. Oh. Really, really good. That's like the Einstein of laser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of maximising results, how would you go about doing that with KeraLase?
Right, so it's very important. So we can only do so much in clinic. Yeah. And it goes the same with skin. When you do something beautiful for your face and you go home and use fairy liquid, it's not going to stay, is it? Yeah. So it's the same with hair. So with hair, I'm very much medical grade everything in terms of skin. I really think, with the right product, you get the best results. And with hair, I always tell my clients, you're going to have all this for your hair, and we're doing this over the next 6 months or so. You really need to wash your hair with sulfate-free, salt-free shampoo. Yeah. You need to be using the best, once a month hair serums with KeraLase in them. There's a lot out there. Yeah. I have the ones that I prefer. Off the top of my head, before you ask, I can't remember, but I have my go-to ones, which I know are brilliant, and it's very important. And I know this might, most people don't think about it, but SPF or your head. Nearly swore then. That's how passionate I am. Yeah. Yeah, effing SPF. So you need to spray your head. You need to put a hat on. You need to be careful.
We often forget that, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I know I will come back with a burnt line down my head on holiday. Like, men don't think about it.
No.
And if you've got hair thinning, you're trying to get that hair density back. Same with women.
Yeah.
Put a hat on. Yeah. Put SPF on. Yeah. Protect your head. There's a lot of sprays you can use out there. It's really, really important. And also, it's important that they come back for their top-ups, so to speak.
Yes.
Like, once a year, come back and keep this. It's so important to get the scalp keeping healthy. Yes. Skin changes. We can get it in its best shape, and then you don't come back for another 10 years.
Yeah.
This is
maintenance is just as important to get the best out of.
Exactly. And I don't think coming in once a year is a big ask.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, like, if you want to keep your hair on your head. Yeah. I would definitely be going in twice a year.
Yeah. Yeah. And are there any tips that you give to your patients to kind of get the most out of their treatment?
Yeah, so the same things that I really told you, actually. So I tell them, like, don't wash your hair on the day of or 2 days. Yeah. Don't be spraying it so this is my bugbear. And bless them. So this goes for women, don't do it as much, but men do this. They spray the hair fibers, the black hair fiber to disguise it.
I've seen that.
Yeah, it looks great, but it's not good for your scalp.
It's not, is it?
It's not.
Because it's clogging it, isn't
it? So I always say, please stay. We're trying to regrow it back, and I understand it's a tender point for you.
Yeah.
But please don't go away. Wait 2 days and then start spraying it again. Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Go through the process. If they were having hair transplants and they can visibly see scabs and blood, they wouldn't spray it. But because LaseMD is so efficient with its laser technology, we don't see any of that. So they just look and think, it's okay.
Yeah.
But they don't realise we've opened up the channel into your follicle, down into the follicle. It's, it's open. It's almost, you peel your head back, but you can't see it. So if you're spraying that on, that's going in. It's just going to rewind and undo all the hard work.
So if you had a practitioner watching this that's thinking, I'm really interested in this treatment, but it is a big investment, what would you say to them? Because obviously you were in that exact position.
I mean, I'll tell you a true story. So one of your colleagues, do I say a name, Joe?
Yeah.
Joe is a good friend of mine and also works for Seriderm. And she kept, for 2 years, she came to me and she kept talking about it. And I was just worried about the money. We were a fairly new clinic. And I was like, I can't justify it. No. For 2 years. And then just one day she said, try it. And I was like, I'll try it. Okay, no problem. And after the first time, I was like, okay, it's good. Okay, it's good. And when I was being a model, it was for my skin, but I was seeing people get it done for their hair as well. And I was, watching this process, and I was like, okay. And still, I was cautious. I'm a cautious person when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'm not a big, I don't just dive in.
Yeah.
When it comes to finances and business.
Yeah.
And I had a second, again, I go back and I see people getting their hair done, and there's regrowth. My skin looks amazing. My rosacea's disappeared, and I'm like, I'm going to speak to my husband. So I was like, it was Christmas, and Christmas is expensive, and we spend loads of money at Christmas, don't we? We're silly
100%.
about it. And I was like, what? I think we should do it. And he was like, you don't want peace? And I was like, no, I think we should do it. He's like, you don't want to relax? I was like,
no.
And he said, are you confident? And I was confident at this point because I'd experienced it.
Because you'd had that experience, yeah.
And I'd heard other people talking about it and seen their clinics. I'd looked at that carefully, watched. And I just did it.
Yeah.
And I took a leap of faith. And after the second month, we were already covering, my husband's never paid for it, the clinic has. So I was worried, he might have to stump up here and help me out.
Step up.
No, the clinic, it's paid for itself.
Wow.
It has,
great.
It's been brilliant.
And that's what we want.
Yeah. I'm just, I go to the clients and I'm constantly talking, not even clients, I'll be walking the street on the train and someone's like, your skin looks good. And I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
And then someone said, yeah, but you would say that because it's in your clinic. And I was like, yes, but would I spend all this money, which I tell them the price, if I didn't work?
Yeah.
No, if I physically didn't know it worked.
Yeah.
Of course not, because it wouldn't be a good business decision.
No, exactly.
It's a good business decision. I'll do it, and that's why I'm ranting about it to tell everyone. Not ranting, but spouting it, and preaching it to everyone.
Yeah.
It works. It works in every essence.
Yeah.
In every essence.
Yeah. And we see that that's a very natural reaction because you're constantly posting social media videos. We love your social media videos. And you clearly just love it.
I love it. I love it. I have it done. I'm, 5-6 lasers in now.
Yeah. And your skin looks gorgeous.
I love my skin.
Yeah.
And by the way, let me tell you a story, another one. I hated my skin.
Really?
I hated my skin with a passion. So I developed rosacea at 31. So I already hated my skin anyway because I hated my freckles.
Yeah.
I hated being so white. I was always on a sunbed fruitlessly. I didn't tan. So I discovered fake tan. But again, my skin was lustrous. And then I developed rosacea when I moved to a hot country. And it was miserable. I went to every dermatologist. They had me put in charcoal mix that smelled like fag ash at night on my skin. I stank. It didn't work.
Oh, God.
Don't know what that was about. And they were like, yeah, it only gets worse.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, and I was looking at pictures of people with really bad skin, like rosacea, with thickening, you know, when they've got the big noses and like thick.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't.
Just can't.
I can't.
No.
And this laser, I mean, it's just got rid of it. Like it's, you know, it needs maintenance. It can reoccur, but it's just the only thing now. And I just love my skin like this. It's glowy. It's tight. It's bouncy. You know, I have my anti-wrinkle, and the friend of mine who does it, she's qualified. Got another practitioner. So made it sound like we did that in the kitchen, then we don't. Another practitioner does my Botox, and the last time I had it was about 5 or 6 months ago, and she was like, have you had it already? And I was like, no, it was the last time you did it. And she was like, you have nothing moved.
There's nothing to treat.
No, so we just did lower face and neck.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was like, there's nothing going on up there. Are you sure you haven't? I swear I haven't. It's just the laser.
Wow.
So
that's amazing to hear.
Ping a penny off this thing. Another bounce.
So thank you so much, Sam, for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you for this hair loss awareness episode.
Oh, you're welcome.
And guys, if you want to follow the rest of our episodes, our details will be below. Thank you.